Imagine a stormy ocean, waves crashing against jagged rocks. For centuries, a lighthouse has stood firm on the coast, its beam guiding sailors safely to shore. That light is the belief in God, not just a religious figure, but a symbol of order, morality, meaning. Now imagine the light slowly dims and disappears. The sailors are left in the dark, not because they don't know how to sail, but because the guiding light they trusted is gone. This is the world Nietzsche described when he said, "God is dead." Friedrich Nietzsche was not declaring victory over religion. He wasn't cheering. He was mourning, warning, and ultimately challenging. In the 19th century, the rise of science, secularism, and rationalism began to dissolve the authority of traditional religious belief in Europe. People no longer believed in God with the same certainty. But this was not liberation. It was existential crisis. God is dead doesn't mean a deity has literally perished. It means the collective belief in that deity, as the foundation of truth, morality, and meaning, has collapsed. Nietzsche uses the metaphor of a murder. We have killed him, you and I. We didn't kill God with weapons, but with disbelief, with questioning, with the triumph of human reason over inherited faith. But here's the catch. The structure of our lives, our ethics, our institutions, were all built on that belief. When God dies, what happens to morality? To purpose? To the self? We filtered God's idea. Over time, society sanitized and diluted the idea of God, from a symbol of transcendence to a moral policeman. Religion became less about connection and more about compliance. In doing so, we created a version of God that lost its authenticity, its soul. That filtered God was easy to abandon because it was already hollow. When the lighthouse dims, we don't just stop believing. We drift. That drift is what Nietzsche called nihilism, the sense that life has no inherent meaning or value. With no divine order, every value seems arbitrary. Why be good? Why strive? Why not give in to despair or indulgence? Nietzsche feared this, but he also saw an opportunity. In place of the dead God, Nietzsche calls for the Übermensch, the overman or beyond man. This is not a tyrant, but a creator. One who takes full responsibility for meaning. Someone who doesn't inherit values, but shapes them. This is the challenge, to live without excuses, without divine backup, and yet still choose to live meaningfully, artistically, ethically. Let's bring it home. In the absence of a higher structure, we've replaced meaning with stimulation. Likes, trends, dopamine bursts. But none of it anchors us. It numbs us, but doesn't fulfill us. Nietzsche would see this as the danger of a post-God world. We turn away from deep questions and settle for shallow comforts. So what do we do when God is dead? We don't run. We don't collapse into despair. We create. We become conscious of the filter society has placed on us. We question inherited truths. We embrace uncertainty, but not passively. We become active participants in shaping who we are. The lighthouse may have gone dark, but perhaps in its place, 1,000 smaller lights can be lit within each of us. Not handed down from heaven, but lit from within. This is Nietzsche's deeper message. Not the end of meaning, but the beginning of ownership. God is dead is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of yours.